What's up, guys? Oh, jeez, my voice. What's up, guys? It's been a while since the last one. I recorded some footage last Sunday, but I've been dealing with some things, um, and let's just say I was away for um, a large part of this week, so I wasn't really able to finish off the recording, but I'm feeling much better now. And I guess I just wanted to talk about mostly, honestly, like not even really arm wrestling, but just because this is a public thing, um, but not in a way that it's tangible to me. Like maybe every once in a while, someone will mention watching a video, but mostly, to me, this is like a journal, right? So I think it's not a bad idea to just sort of express like mostly what's on my mind. Because I mean, arm wrestling is like whatever I could talk about, you know, arm wrestling, but um, anyway. So I guess what I want to talk about is how do you deal with like how do you deal with your failures and how do you stop fucking up all the time, I guess. And what I realized this last week, let's start with maybe it was 3 weeks ago. Um four is it 4 weeks? I don't know. About 3 weeks ago I heard about like friend of mine is gonna do a race, they said. And I was like, what is that? So that got me interested, and I sort of started to think like this is like this is like a material goal I can set for myself in terms of getting in shape. Because I mean, just walking around feeling out of shape, like I always like used to complain about like having to walk to places. I'm like, I don't want to walk, let's take the subway. And that just became the new normal, and I didn't really think about it, but but there was always like this nagging sense of like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I know that where that comes from is this is hard, and I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do it. And that just kind of sort of became my identity. Um, and I don't know if anyone wants to be the lazy person, you know? I mean, I guess everyone has a sense of like, you should do things that are a bit hard. But anyways, I just finally was like, this might be a good opportunity for me to sort of get out of that mindset that I've been in for a while. Because, like physical activity, and working out is not everything. Like I was speaking to Alex today about how I really used to. Well, at first I was really into that kind of stuff, like the workout super hard, like Kobe Bryant, play basketball, like train for your craft like really hard. But what sucked about that is working out has always been so much easier than other responsibilities I have in my life, and all these things are only ever talk about working out. And a lot of these gym guys that go to the gym, like going to the gym is not hard for them. It's fun. So in a way, like I feel like it didn't feel relatable sometimes. But what I didn't realize is, you know, what I ended up doing is with that mindset, and not just because of like what I just said, but just in general, I even lost the discipline with the gym stuff and the physical activity as well. And it's like, yes, like being very disciplined with your fitness isn't everything, but actually it's still better than nothing. So what I realized, like as I started like planning to jog and stuff, it did bring up my confidence and just my ability to do things that are hard. Um, so I mean, there's some level of truth to that for sure, and it's it's good for you, right? So, anyways, I I'm trying to remember if this practice was okay. 2 weeks after I made video in Oakville, and so since then I did a few training runs, and anyways, I um I started to like starting from that like jogging and planning to get back in shape, and I stopped smoking. Um, I stopped taking Advil, so I figured maybe it'll slow down recovery. I was just very trying to like dial in different aspects of my life, and it was only for a 10K run. So it's not like I did something like monumental, but I just know that like you know like running sucks, and when I get there, I'm gonna want to quit. And I was so terrified of how much it was gonna hurt, even though, like I said, like it's um the what I did, like the run itself isn't like it's not really that demanding, but just mentally, I was just terrified of the suck and the thought that I might want to quit, and I just want to make things as I want to put myself in the best spot I possibly could. Um, but anyways, as I'm doing that, I start, I think, to also want to be less avoidant about other things in my life, other bad habits or other failures that I have not that I haven't addressed. And as I'm doing that, and there sort of becomes this like chain reaction where I realize that, well, let's just say I have to sort of face everything at once that I've been avoiding, um, and avoiding for years, and it just was like so overwhelming. I like, and the problem is like I let this sort of cripple me, because I mean, if you see me, like I'm a regular guy off of arm wrestling. Like I feel like, um, yeah, like I'm having fun, but about certain just very specific things in my life that I don't want to think about and I don't want to do, I was essentially like disabled in that way. Like I just wasn't able to exist in that space, mostly mentally. So in most, like, if you just see me at like a social thing, I'm able to sort of pretend that doesn't exist. But when my mind needs to go there, it would be so hard. Like I wouldn't be able to stand it. Like, so I was just running and running. I'm being so vague, so I'm sorry if it's very confusing, but I'm just running from these things. And what happened, I think, over time is that, once I fuck up, I never forgave myself. And it sounds funny because, the I used to think for the longest time I was too easy on myself. And in a way it's true, because, if you consider lack of discipline easy on yourself, that's true. But in terms of myself, like my self-esteem, my self-worth, um, I really was so hard on myself, and I just felt that I was fundamentally a very bad person, and just someone that fucks up. And the problem with that is it feels right, because if you fucked up, you deserve a punishment for that, right? But I got a lot of help this past week, and one of the things that I was told is, one, they say, why are you describing yourself in a way that's like, oh, I'm just like, I mess up all the time. And he said, if I asked you what are you wearing for clothes, would you just say your t-shirt, or would you name all the other things you're wearing as well? And so there's more to you than whatever that one aspect is that you've failed, or that led you to that failure, that fuck up. So, and a lot of this is like, yeah, like if you listen to it, it's like no shit. But I just realized that I haven't been internalizing it, and it's actually very difficult for me to internalize it, because I'm just so steeped in this negative self-talk and just being as harsh as I possibly can on myself as a way for me to feel okay with, not feel okay, but to sort of compensate for the fact that I messed up. But actually, the problem is that um, the only way for you to learn and become better and move on from your failures is to actually sit with them. Actually, let like let that wash over you. You have to really examine your failures closely. And because I hated myself for it so much, it was easier for me to like if I because I was so negative, I couldn't do it. It was too scary because as soon as would try to sit with my failures, it's just like you're like so worthless. Like you're so selfish. You're such a piece, and it's like that became like torturous for me. So that's why I think I avoided, and then the more I avoided, the less I'm actually able to learn and deal uh, move past and deal with future things, and the more I would fuck up, and then as these things added up, they became more and more scary, scary to sit with and learn from, and the negative self-talk. So it's just like a really unhealthy, I think, cycle, and the only way, again, to push that, at least for me, is to realize that your mistakes are your mistakes. And it was difficult for me to even say it's a mistake because I feel like I'm letting myself off, but I have to. And your mistakes are not who you are, and guilt and shame are not things that you're supposed to feel all the time. It's supposed to be like pain where it you feel it and then you learn from it and you move on. It's supposed to be like a sign that something went wrong, not like a constant state of being. So anyways, these are all this therapy talk, but I just things that was told to me by the people that helped me. And another thing is just like I just notice how much more negative I am when I'm talking about myself compared to other people, because you know I might not be nice to everyone all the time, but I give people the benefit of the doubt a lot. I just realized that, because I said something and then I go, yeah, but it's stupid for me to feel that way. And then that person asked me, like, okay, I'm gonna say it the exact same thing you said. And then when he said it, I was like, oh fuck, that sucks. And then it's just like, and again, this is obvious, but it's just to have it put in front of me, just how fucked my sort of internal dialogue was. I was like, when that person said it, I was immediately like feeling sorry for them. And then for me, I'm just like, why do you feel that way? What the fuck? Like, you don't deserve to feel bad about it. So I think it's good to, obviously, you're always going to be harsher on yourself, but it's good not to let that get um, too far out of balance. Because again, like, negative self-talk it's, it's not good. I mean, I guess, of course, like, you can't always be nice about yourself, but to a degree, that you should, I think. Anyways, so that's just, I don't know. I think that's mostly what I've really learned very recently. And actually, because this is from last week, but I just finished the 10K that I was planning to do, and I wanted to do it under an hour. I don't know if I even already talked about it in the last couple videos, but I was talking to my buddy that told me that their friend was doing the race, and then I was like, "Do you think I can do it in an hour?" Because I did the math, and it's like 10-minute mile, and like 10-minute mile, I've done it on the treadmill, and it feels slow as shit. Obviously, it's for a long time. But I've never done anything really long distance, so for me, that's just like, playing like football, basketball, like, you're never really going slow and steady, right? So when I tried the 10 minute, I'm like, this is so slow. So I was like, yeah, I could probably do it. I just figured. And then they're like, um, oh, it might be hard. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it then. So that was a goal, and I just did it in like 54 minutes. It's like, um, I actually like because I use like an app, Strava, to record the race, and that it said I ran 10.1 or 10 points, like a little bit more, which I guess makes sense because whatever the race like actual trail, it might not be like 100% accurate, but it was like 54 minutes and 30 something seconds, and then for the 10K on the app it says it was a little bit less, but either way I did it under an hour, and obviously like I'm happy, like I mean I was told today that people, like I mean I knew, like when I looked it up I saw like people can do it in half an hour and stuff, but all that matters to me was during that race, like I was really hurting. Like I was doing okay, I think, for the first five, and then I got too excited. I don't know, like because I was really trying not to go too fast too early. When I got to the 5K, like there were people standing there, and then they were like, "Oh, let's go!" Like they were like cheering and being like, "You only have five left." And for some reason, I guess like I just got so excited and just started going way too fast. So I think like I, I just kicked up my pace like for no reason, like too much from like six, seven, and then eight and nine I was hurting and I didn't quit. And then the last bit I ran as hard as I could, like maybe the last like 200-300 meters. And yeah, I mean that's all that matters is that I was hurting and I didn't quit. So, anyways, that was good. I'm glad I did it. I feel proud of myself, and um, I like puked afterwards. But actually wasn't that ruined. Like, I guess it was only a 10K, but I um I was able to go to practice and I felt pretty good actually today. Um, so I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I guess to make this like applicable in any way to anyone else, because I guess I'm technically speaking to another person. Um, yeah, like if you were hard on yourself, like, and you feel like you have big fuck ups in your life, it's very important not to judge yourself too harshly because that'll make you avoidant and that'll not allow you to address those failures and learn from them. So I guess that's the main thing that I want to talk about. Um, but yeah, I mean, just I've learned so much in this last week, really. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I mean, I can talk a little bit about the arm wrestling too. It's already been almost 20 minutes, which is crazy. I guess this week what happened? This week I pulled Thursday at the Gators. I wasn't able to get any footage because apparently, they didn't want me to, which is okay. Like I think the thing is, definitely more recently I've started to care about how I look on camera, as in like I feel like I'm making some huge gains and I want to document that. But really, at the core of it, I'm never gonna record something if the other person doesn't want me to. Like, it's never worth it. And especially when I just put the camera up for other people. Do you think I enjoy that much going through like hours of footage and cutting it down and posting other people that's not even me? Like sometimes the pulls are entertaining, but mostly it's so that like when other people have filmed for me, like Steve or Table Monkeys used to post videos, I was waiting all week for that video to drop. So I know that for most people, I think they appreciate if I do catch it. I understand if you don't, and that's totally okay, and I won't post anything you don't want me to. But it's mostly so that you get to see yourself arm wrestle. That's pretty much it. I really I mean, it can definitely feel that way. Someone like carrying a camera around all the time, but it really, I'm not trying to jerk myself off. But anyways, that's that. But I pulled Thursday, so it's I guess I was probably a little bit less fresh than my usual, like once a week and nothing in between. But I felt all right. I think I pulled what did I pull at the start? Yeah, I pulled with the Brendan, and then I think the week before this week, Brendan was just straight up top rolling me in the strap. So I think this week I was just more like alert. Like I wasn't letting him start first. I was like kind of like, because I think the week before I just was like, yeah, like go first, you know what I mean? And then I just like kept losing. So this week I was really like making sure that I wasn't losing the height and stuff. So I think that like made a difference, and also like depends what the person's shape is at the point of practice. But anyways, yeah, like I mean, I guess like I felt better than last week in terms of how I did with Brendan, but there's that, and then I pulled David and tried to work on my flop a bit because I noticed when I pulled Josh, you can't really pin that king's move when you're in a defensive hook. So I figured the only way and also like to roll out of that like king's hook to me feels impossible. I'm sure that is probably a lane, maybe the correct lane, but I just can't. I don't have enough strength right now to do that. So, anyways, I realized that like you probably can only transition to a flop from the hook. So I worked on that a little bit with David and felt okay. I mean, it's still tough, but I never ever really flop or even press, so it's good to train it. Yeah, and pull Leo. I mean, Leo is like, every time I see him, he's gaining like crazy, and he beat the piss out of me. Um, I want to pull him when I'm fresh, of course, because I don't appreciate being caught like people that started after me. I hope I can still get him if I'm fresh, but it was I couldn't really do anything at that point. Practice, and then I pulled I think Lex, and I mean yeah, like I gotta be fresh to pull Lex too at this point, and probably speaking of people that are catching me, it's like I mean I pulled him today as well. I just realized that like that's probably about time for that too. And I don't know. Oh, and Jackie came back. Jackie actually helped me prepare for the run a lot, so thanks for that. I mean, definitely he's not listening to this, but yeah. And then I guess today, because I didn't film today, I brought my phone, and it wasn't like fully charged because I wasn't like planning. I wasn't even sure if I would come to practice, so I brought my phone and I had it on. I actually taped it to my left arm because I don't have like a phone band, and I didn't want to carry a phone on one hand and a water bottle on the other, like so. And it worked. It stayed on there, but the tape like covered because I wanted to check the time like pace, but the tape like covered it, and then I could kind of tell because I'd done a few training runs that I was on pace, like I would finish under an hour. I could tell, so I just didn't even look at it the whole time. But anyways, it was on the whole time, and then my phone like died before I got to practice, and I didn't bring my tripod and all this, so I didn't get any footage. But I had some good pulls today too. Like I said earlier, like I felt actually pretty good. Steve came back, which is cool. We had some. Actually, Steve should have some footage on his GoPro. So that was really cool. And I pulled with Kieran again from I think he's from Scotland. That's cool. But yeah, I feel like when I pulled Lex today, my pronation like I felt like even when I wasn't winning, I was applying pressure exactly where I wanted to, and I was really like I could feel like my like I just felt like the way I was using my pronation was just like exactly what I want to feel every time. Because sometimes you'll try to top roll and you feel like you're not even exerting the pressure that you want to. So like you might be trying to top roll someone and you're like, I feel like I'm not pronating at all. So, but today I just felt like it was like so good. Like that connection, like with the thumb pronation, felt great, and with other people too. So I guess that's a little takeaway. Um, and then I took the subway back with this new guy who came from Spain, He's 17 years old. He's 71 kilograms, and he's telling me that he strict curled 80 kilos. And I was like, I don't believe you. And I mean, he kept like, like I asked him a bunch of questions, and like he's talking about all sorts of different lifts. So I'm just like, okay. I mean, I guess I still kind of don't believe it, but um, I don't know what you think about that. Is that impossible? I was like, that's got to be like a world record at 70 kilos to strict curl 80. Like, I mean, and I don't know. No offense to this guy, but um, he's not doing what I would expect the 80 kilo curl guy to do to me on the table. So, anyways, that was an interesting conversation from today. So, I don't know. What do you think that's? I don't know if you think that's possible to strict curl that much, and he doesn't look like he looks pretty skinny too. He looks like he's probably skinnier than Leo. I don't know. He's like kind of a tall, lanky guy. So that makes it even less believable. And I was trying to think, like, can Lex strict curl 80 kilos? Because 80 kilos is a fucking lot. And I know Lex can cheat curl way more than that. But anyways, I think that's all for the video. That was a really long and unhinged rant, but whatever. Thank you.